So this was actually an inspiration I came across. Someone from our class brought me a fantastic little selection of squash recipes. And winter and squash, obviously, they go hand in hand. If you don't like squash, or if you're not really into squash, I beg you to try the different types out there.
I'm begging you.
Yes, there are so many different. And when I was, I didn't always like squash. I used to pick it out of everything, but grew to like it. And what I love now is that most grocery stores are starting to bring in such a beautiful variety of squash. It used to be just your pepper squash, and then they started bringing in butternut squash, and now you have these delicata squash and Hubbard squash and some fantastic, delicious vegetables out there. So today we're going to do a roasted squash, and we're going to stuff it with some nutrient-filled and delicious ingredients. So right here I have, does anyone know what this one is? Delicata, yes, delicata squash. It's a little more difficult to find. I use delicata and acorn. They work, they both work fantastic. They're nice little small squash, so you can prepare like an individual size serving. And what we want to do, just wash it very well, slice it in half, and you can scoop out the seeds. And what we're going to do is roast this. So I don't peel the skin off. I find with the delicata squash, the skin is so thin that it crisps up really nice in the oven, and you can actually eat it. It's delicious. Just wash it very well. With the acorn squash, again, it didn't peel it. It's a little tougher, the skin, so depending on how sharp your teeth are, you can decide.
One of the great things about squash is it's rich in beta-carotene, which is an antioxidant that helps fight off illness and infection. And it's one of those nutrients that's been studied in prostate cancer prevention. And there was a study that happened where basically people started taking, mega doses or taking supplements of beta-carotene, and they didn't have any lower risk of getting prostate cancer. But when we look at the same nutrient in the diet, there seems to be this protective effect. So again, we don't eat nutrients, we eat the foods. So choosing, squash or another orange fruit or vegetable every day is going to help you to meet your nutrient needs.
And so what we want to do is, after we prepped our squash, just season it with a little salt, a little black pepper. I mean, at this point, you can add anything. You can add a little smoky paprika, or if you like some heat, you can add a little cayenne pepper if you like. And just a little drizzle of, you can just use a little bit of grapeseed oil, or a little, just your regular olive oil. You don't want to use the good extra virgin stuff here. And we're going to place this on a baking tray or baking dish, and you want to go the cut side down, and that'll roast in the oven 375 for about 20-25 minutes. I don't want to destroy the squash. I just want to get a nice tenderness on it, some nice caramelization, and I'll show you what it looks like.
It turned into an acorn squash.
It turned into an acorn squash. It's magic.
Don't expect this to happen at home,
No.
But this is the lovely roasting action that you'll be getting.
So that's what you're looking for. You can kind of feel it. It's nice and soft, and you have some nice caramelization going on there. That's the hardest part of the recipe. Now we're going to create the stuffing, and again, these you can use whatever ingredients you like. Think of this as kind of a template and insert. If you don't like arugula, use baby spinach, or use another type of maybe radicchio for a little bit of bitterness. So we're going to add a little bit of that arugula here. We have some sun-dried tomatoes. Again, just because I like sun-dried tomatoes, you don't have to use them. Fresh cherry tomatoes, some nice fresh pepper strips would be good. And our key ingredient here, which Chris is going to get into, is walnuts. Delicious, nutritious. One point, actually, Christy brought up in one of our other classes, which gives a little tip of what powers inside, is that they look like little brains, and because they're good for your brain. So delicious. And these you can leave whole. Crush them up a little bit. It's going to go right in there. Very simple. I have a little bit of goat cheese here. If you don't have to use any cheese if you don't want. A nice pecorino cheese if you don't like goat cheese. or even some Parmesan cheese would be good. And I have some red onions. Now, typically myself, some people love, I know we have some people that love the bite of a raw onion. I'm not a big fan of raw onion in my salad. A little tip on ways where you can kind of mellow that heat or that astringency out of the onion is just soak it in a little bit of water and vinegar. So I use a little bit of red wine vinegar and a little bit of water. Just let it sit, and you actually get this almost like a quick pickle action going on. You get the sweetness coming out of the onion, a little bit of that heat, but it's much, much more mellow. So, and it softens them up a little bit. So we're gonna put a few, and it's got this really cool color too. It's like neon pink.
It's a girly salad.
We're gonna add a little bit of that red wine vinegar mixture as well, because that's gonna be part of the dressing. Season it. Just a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper. Now is when you would use your good extra virgin olive oil, just a little bit on top, just to dress. And use tongs. Today I'm gonna use a spoon to toss the salad.
Whatever works.
Doesn't make much sense, but. And then this is gonna go right in to that squash. I want to get some pieces of that goat cheese.
It's a gorgeous color combination.
A couple
As
walnuts.
Jeremy likes to say, you eat with your eyes, so you want different colors to really appeal. And that's a key or a signal that you're getting a wide variety of nutrients as well.
Sure. Really, really nice, really easy, delicious way to use walnuts and squash and goat cheese.